Henry's cat woke up feeling odd. It was a funny sort of nothing feeling, when he wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do. He thought perhaps a little walk might solve the problem, but it didn't. He stopped to think for a while, but nothing came, except a sound. It was a band, but no ordinary band. It was a circus band. A circus. That's just what I want to cheer me up, thought Henry's cat. There were clowns laughing, seals barking, acrobats tumbling, lions and tigers roaring, elephants balancing, strong men lifting, and everything. It was so exciting. Oh, why can't I live an exciting life like this? He thought. And as the thought slowly sank in, he imagined himself as the star of the circus, with all the crowd waiting in suspense for his daring feats. He imagined himself on the flying trapeze. He might even do amusing daring feats, like tap dancing on the tightrope. He might even do incredibly amusing daring feats, like being the first feline cannonball. To escape from a straitjacket in mid-air whilst whistling Rule Britannia. But as his thoughts came down to earth, he realised these feats might be a little too ambitious for a small cat who was just starting. Oh, perhaps I could be something easier to begin with, he thought, and he felt he might make a good ringmaster and be in charge of the seals, the elephants, and the lions. Lions? He'd forgotten about those. That was certainly no job for a small cat. He thought for a moment. Oh, I have it. I could be the one who sells the tickets. That's just right for a beginner. And he wandered off to find the circus manager. He was so excited by the thought that he didn't notice a ladder up against the tent and bumped right into it. Oh! He got all covered in paint and looked like I don't know what. Well, the painter was very angry, as he had a pot of paint over his head and couldn't see where he was going. And Henry's cat ran inside the tent to hide from him, only to find himself in a circus ring, just as the clowns were practising. They thought he and the painter were a comedy turn and included them in the act. Well, he was tripped, squirted, honked, rolled on the floor, covered in flour. Oh! He was so confused he didn't know what was happening. So he sat down to gather his thoughts. But hardly had he blinked when he was shot off into the air, right out of the tent. Henry's cat pondered for a moment. Perhaps there was more to life than excitement. Oh, glamour, he thought, is mostly pie in the sky, while life is largely pie in the eye. And with that philosophical thought, he wended his way home, a sorer but wiser cat.